Hello, I'm back. Well, it looks like old Raz, who Richard Madeley described in yesterday's Express as the half-bonkers baby in the Kremlin, has finally excelled himself this time. Not content with invading Ukraine, making slanderous accusations about other governments, cutting fuel and gas supplies to Europe and apparently ordering attacks on civilian areas, he's now mobilised thousands of reservists, equipping them with substandard weapons, which has triggered a mass exodus, ordered the wholesale arrest of anyone protesting against the war, allegedly ordered sabotage of gas supply pipelines, and used sham referendums with people forced to vote at gunpoint to illegally seize 4 regions along the border so he could claim them as part of Russia as a possible pretext for using nuclear weapons. Blimey, I thought T-Rump was bad enough, and that's saying something. Then there's the member countries of the European Union, who aren't exactly helping matters. As far as I can tell, they're too busy arguing among themselves, indirectly aiding RRR by not immediately banning purchases from Russia, and wasting time taking the UK government to court because they're unhappy with our immigration policy. And then there's all the problems with the Northern Ireland Protocol. I briefly mentioned that in my bureaucratic inertia video and wish to go into more detail here. Simply put, the protocol is part of the Brexit withdrawal agreement that governs the unique customs and immigration issues at the border of the island of Ireland, between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the European Union, and on some aspects of trade in goods between Northern Ireland and the rest of the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, this has caused trade disruption and diversion, significant costs and bureaucracy for traders in areas where people in Northern Ireland have not been able to benefit fully from the same advantages as those in the rest of the United Kingdom. This has contributed to a deep sense of concern that the links between Great Britain and Northern Ireland have been undermined. Now, the UK government has set out the range of issues caused by the protocol in a document which outlines the UK solution, fixing the problem so that Northern Ireland can move forward, while protecting the UK and EU market so that no one loses out. The full document detailing these issues and the UK government's proposed solutions has been publicised on the government's website. Links for that and the protocol's Wikipedia page are included in the description. Now, it's obvious that any progress on this issue depends on the continued survival of the current government, which, to be entirely honest, isn't exactly secure at the moment. Even then, there's no guarantee that the EU will agree to listen. Of course, the situation primarily came about due to Europe's bureaucratic class declining in their typically arrogant manner that it was a good idea to take a functioning trading partnership and transform it into a political superstate without bothering to seek public approval. Now, before anyone starts making nasty remarks about my judgment in the comment section, I feel obliged to remind you though that, before the switch took place, people were promised a full vote on any fundamental changes to the running of Europe. They were then denied a vote on this, the biggest and most far-reaching change of the lot, because the likes of Gordon Brown, who was Prime Minister at the time, dismissed the transformation, which came about by the Maastricht Treaty, as a tidying-up exercise. This may have been one of the reasons Jeremy Clarkson referred to Brown as a dour Scottish half-blind idiot. Personally, I think they didn't want to organise a vote because they knew too many voters would reject the idea. They probably justified the refusal by saying it would be too difficult to organise, which is obviously rubbish. Think about it. If the whole of Europe can phone in every year at the same time to pick the winner of the song contest, then surely a simultaneous multi-nation vote on the operational status of the continent can't be that difficult to set up. I'm beginning to understand why Charles de Gaulle put so much effort into preventing the UK from joining the EEC, the predecessor of the EU, and blocking any political integration by the group, as he probably knew how it would eventually turn out. I wonder if he was related to Nostradamus. Alright, there's no mention of a link on either of their Wikipedia entries, but that doesn't always mean anything, especially with all the fake news that's doing the rounds. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comments and suggestions will be welcome. Feel free to like and share. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon to be notified about new videos, and I'll be back soon.